goes up the fence and gets tangled into the barbed wire. He's all messed up in the barbed wire. He crawls over the barbed wire. It does his leg a really good number as he falls forward into the enclosure with his foot.
Trollord Games, join the fray.
Is that what is going on there? That shit cracks me up. Hello, everybody. It is July 16th, 2024. Man, I cannot remember what year it is. 2024. I'm Stephen Chenault. Apparently, I didn't comb my hair today. And this is KTLG in the afternoon. Ask me anything. We are here. Any questions you have about Trollord Games?
There's your first question, the official question, right there.
Is that a time machine in the closet? I wish it were. Hey, what happened to my alien guy?
I don't know. You need to put some black cloth behind it so it'll really stand out.
Will that help? Okay,
It would. It would. That would be cool.
Oh, look, he's flipping everybody off. My wife got me that for my birthday. I was very amused. Back for a second. Yeah, that is the cave back there. That is where Dakota will be working here very soon, which is part of the news these days. We have brought Dakota McMurray on full time, starting on July 29th, just before Gen Con. And part of his job is to start attending conventions monthly. So we are going to expand our convention reach in the very, very near future. Chuck and Dakota have already started working on that. So that'll be a lot of fun for them. And I'll stay here and work on Troll stuff.
How often do you talk to him outside? I know when he comes to work, you'll talk to him every damn day. But
he games here Sunday. I talked to Dakota about twice. Dakota's he's going to be the most redneck of all the Arkansans in here. Dakota is one fishing, hunting, four-wheeler driving, boat driving redneck you ever want to meet. Happiest for those of you who met him, he's my nephew. He's happier than a pig in a poke. He's been going to conventions since I don't know how many years, since way before COVID. And he started running GaryCon for us 2 years ago. He and Grace and moved up, ratcheted up to, I think he did Game Hole. I can't remember, but now he's going to kind of take over all that stuff.
I'm thrilled. You see how happy I was the other day when you told me about all this? I was like, he's coming there? Yes. Yeah.
But
it was like weights lifted off my shoulders.
Yeah, I send Dakota, I talk to him about twice a week because I send him memes and TikToks or Instagrams of just rednecks doing crazy redneck stuff because he loves it. So it's going to be, it'll be good. It'll be good. But so the answer to the question that you did not have, but that we posed a couple of weeks ago is we will start stepping up our convention.
And Summoner of
What does
Tyrion.
convention reach look like? So right now, Sumner, we go to roughly 3 conventions. Well, really 2. Gen Con we've just added, those being Gary Con and Gamehole Con, both up in Wisconsin. And then we've re-added Gen Con to the list this year. And we've done a few like Dicon and Archon, and I think Chuck did one out in Chattanooga. I know Chuck and Dakota did one out in Chattanooga, somewhere out there. But we basically had a 6-hour distance from Little Rock. That was what I limited it to because Dakota had a full-time job elsewhere, and we couldn't get boots on the ground. So we're going to expand that to a 10 or 12-hour reach now from Little Rock, Arkansas, so that he can get to it easier. He'll be working for us full-time, so that'll be part of his work schedule, will be that whole mess.
I'm very excited about it. Very excited.
That puts us Denver might be 16 hours, but Denver will be on the clock. Just go to a map, Little Rock, 12 hours out, and then we'll look into flying to some. We've been re-invited a couple of times out east to Kubla Khan, Denver's Genghis Khan, and Pacific Con, so we may put those back on the roster. Yeah. It just gives us someone on deck that can go to conventions now. If we drive, it's easier, but obviously on the East Coast, we may have to fly, or the West Coast, we may have to fly. But it should ratchet things up. Have you ever thought about North Texas Con? We went to North Texas Con once in 2007, and that will be put right back on the list, at the top of the list, because we need to be down there. So that'll be the June. We're going to try to get him going to one convention a month, and I believe North Texas is in June.
It is. I try to keep it away from our other schedule for that very reason. So we have room for it.
So we will definitely reach out and get into. So, yes, Peter, Sooner Con is right on the docket too, and that's over there in Tulsa Norman, Oklahoma. So we're just going to look at this stuff, and that's really going to be Chuck and Dakota's job. They're going to get a list of conventions together and start lining them up. And it may be that we go to one convention. Say we go to Sooner Con in this year, and then next year in that October or whatever month, we go to a different convention. So we may not go to the same convention every year, every month.
Yeah, that would be right. We'll have a few major ones, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, when we had Larry Elmer down here as a guest for TrollCon years ago, and I really liked his way of doing it. He never went to I don't want to quote him, but he told me that it was every 3 years he would go to a convention, and then he wouldn't go back to that convention for 3 years. I think was the thing.
Yeah, I think so. Right, the only con he goes to regularly ever has been Gary Con, and that's because his grandkids are just down the road.
Yeah, and Gen Con, of course. No, Peter, I don't want to know. Don't send me any guys that you know. Good. Chuck and Dakota will put a list together, and they'll go through it and do viability of driving times and all of that goobly goop, attendance and all that mess. There's a whole equation that we worked out years and years ago, how to make a convention viable. We'll dust that equation off.
But if he wants to run some games for us now, Peter, I'll horn in here for a second.
Yeah, if you're in Denver, if we do one in Denver and he wants to run some games, that'd be great.
Email him.
Have him email. We don't know yet. We're that's been put on the back burner until we get these 6 books done, which should be in the next 4 or 5 weeks. We should have these things done. I'm going to
come and interrupt. I'm going to interrupt the troller for just a second. Eric Piper, I still haven't gotten an email. I don't know what's going on, bro, but email me somewhere. Email me. I don't know what's going on. I've checked all my filters.
We'll keep that in mind, Eric. But you told me, you promised me, you swore while we were having breakfast there at Gary Con that you would finish your adventure. That's all I heard. That's all I remember. I think you wrote it out in blood. I got a contract somewhere. I'm not sure, but so, Eric, you know the deal, Eric. You know the deal. Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, did I miss any questions while I was rambling on about?
No. But yeah, Eric, for sure. Just drop me your addresses in Facebook for me. I need those desperately. Just drop them in there tonight. Anyway, yeah, I'll let you return.
Yeah. We got stuff. We got it. We got to start closing down some problems around here. And speaking of problems around here, so we have the Amazing Adventures, the Chronicle Keeper's Guide to Amazing Adventures finished, laid out, done. We got a little bit of tweaking to do to it. I got to go through and look for the word alignment, I think, and level to highlight, and a few things that Jason wanted done. And it's going to the printers, and then the Player's Handbook, Amazing Adventures right behind it will be going to the printers as well. So we're going to close those 2 books down very, very soon. I'm hoping by Friday, no later than Monday or Tuesday. And then right behind that is Arms and Armor, the Adventurer's Armory, I should say. Peter is into the last sections of it. So that book should be print ready in the next, what do you think, Peter, 7 to 10 days? Then they're done. And then we're back onto the Player's Handbook, the Castle Keeper's Guide, and the Monsters and Treasures. The PHB really needs the edit by Finn, and the CKG needs the edit by Finn, and then they're print ready. So I am hoping in the next 2 and 3 weeks, in and around the Gen Con, before Gen Con, I want 3 of these books off to the printers. After Gen Con, the other 3 books go to the printers, and we close all of those down. And in the meantime, we've got the GM Strict to the Trade book coming out in the next couple of weeks. We've got Sword of Rami coming out this week. I think it's on schedule for Thursday or Friday. We just released Visiting Death. Then we've got we're reprinting. What is the other one, Chuck? What is the other one?
We're doing Fields of Battle.
Fields of Battle will be re-released, and then there's one more. You edited the cover this morning.
I don't remember. That was this morning.
The Golden Familiar.
Yeah, the Golden Familiar.
Yes. So we've got all kinds of, in the next 2 or 3 weeks, all kinds of stuff coming out.
Yeah. Nope, that's for sure. And what about, where are we at on the Hermit again?
I asked Bill today. I'm not sure exactly where we are, but I think it's mostly laid out, and we're still waiting for the last. I mean, the images are in now, I believe. I just got to get them to Bill. I texted him this morning. He has not responded to me.
Right.
So I'll know in the next. We'll get an update out. But the Hermit really should be wrapping up very soon.
I will throw out something there. There was some. There was a pledge level in there, I think, for some maps and tokens and stuff. But that stuff won't be available just yet until the maps are finished. Just a disclaimer, that stuff comes later.
Yeah, well, the big thing is to get the print book out. And the Hermit's going to be an interesting one for us. It will have, for the first time, it'll have a pocket in the back where the maps go. So I'm really excited about that.
And you've looked at that, right? I mean, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah. We've already got, we're set to go on it. And so the big kind of 2 fold-out maps that you have.
I told somebody the other day about it. I thought it was a really good idea because you could take the map. I told George this, actually. You could take the map, laminate or not, put it on your wall, and then you've got a cool pocket in there to store documents and stuff.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean? You could do. I mean, there's a lot of good reasons for it. So,
the Orc Boss says, "Can't wait to run this game for my friends." I got the $99 one with some PDFs. Yeah, it's going to be very, very, very cool. Very, very cool. And really, yes, do you remember the Golden Familiar? So the Golden Familiar is one of my favorite adventures that I've ever run. I first wrote this thing, or I think it was a long, long time ago, and I ran it for my crew before TOG was a thing. Because I had gone to Austria to study German, been there for the summer, and I'd gone to Hochostowitz, which is this castle in Austria, and it's built on this top of this hill. And as you go around, you don't really go around the thing. You go kind of, switchback up to it, and it's got 14 gates on it. And I thought, these gates are just so badass. It's got to be in an adventure. And that's what the Golden Familiar is. You have to hack your way through the orcs control or partially control these 14 gates, and you got to hack your way through to get to the top and to the Golden Familiar. It's very, very cool, combat-oriented scenario.
I have some comments and questions here.
Fire.
All right, first up, Gabrielle at 421 says, wow, an actual Dr. Pepper t-shirt. So the question to that is, did you find the white one?
Yes, I did. It's I showed it last week.
I thought you did, but I wasn't for sure. I wanted to confirm that.
Yes. The jersey.
So, Sumner of Tyrion asks, will Dakota's engagement dovetail into Endless World support? I will be running CNC at EGG Con and Virtual Greyhawk Con, planning to expand into 25. No, he's going to be handling the booth side of things. I'll be handling that side of stuff. But
so the way it breaks down.
Yeah, sorry.
The way it breaks down, Dakota will be setting up the convention, getting everything there, running the booth, running the crew in the booth, and all of that stuff. Endless Worlds is Chuck's domain. And he will be scheduling games, getting GMs, and working with Dakota to. The idea is if they're doing, say Jeremy has written an adventure that uses some Codex Infernum monsters, Chuck can say, "Hey Dakota, bring extra Codex Infernums because this is the adventure." So those two will work kind of hand in glove.
Right.
But Dakota will be running the show. Chuck will be running the show adjacent.
The organized play, I guess.
The organized play, whatever you want to call it.
Just keep doing what you're doing. Just get your stuff submitted into the calendar, and you'll be good to go. We're getting ready to clean a little bit of that up. We're going to be changing a few things, but it won't really
Bone Shooter. So you've been there before. It is a cool castle. If I don't know, this is a crazy statement, but if you ever find yourself in Austria, it's a very small country. Make your way out to Hochhaus. It's really worth cool. And when you get up to it, it's like this one hill and this gigantic valley, and you can see forever and a day. It's just really cool.
Right. Next one up is from Cloud Bruce. When is TrollCon? Man, I just got into TLG and CNC. I know nothing. Well, TrollCon is actually something we're planning for next year, probably around September. I already have the venue picked out. I already got it picked out. Believe it or not, I'm like 6 months ahead now. But anyway, so that's the story on that right now. And we're just planning it out. So, let's see. Gamer Lock or Torlock. Oh, it's Torlock. That's weird. Top 5 must-have books that CK needs for writing an adventure in the world of Castles and Crusades, or Aired.
What was the question I was reading?
Frank wants to know the top 5 must-have books that CK needs for writing adventures in the world of Aired.
Oh wow, Silmarillion. Silmarillion is a must, I think, to get kind of the flair of it. Man, top 5. I don't even think they'd be fantasy books. They would probably be, I don't know, History of the Habsburg Empire. I don't know. That's a question I don't think I can answer just off the top of my head. Now, books there's The Religion. I would strongly recommend anyone read The Religion. I can't remember the author of this book, but it is the best. It is the best role-playing game book I think I've ever read, and it has nothing to do with anything that we do. It's basically this man who was a janissary. As a young man, he gets out of that corps and he retires in Italy, and he runs this tavern, and he's got these 2 guys that he travels with, or that hangs out with him in the tavern. They were all mercenaries together, and then this woman has got to get to Malta I can't remember why. I think to see her husband. I can't remember what the motivation was. And Malta is being besieged by the Turks. So this traveling group go to Malta. It is this absolutely, and our heroes get kind of sucked into this battle reluctantly, and it's just an absolutely fantastic book. So The Religion, I would strongly recommend The Religion on that as well. I just finished reading The Drowned Lands. I think that is a really good one. It gives you an idea of kind of short stories. Probably some Carl Edward Wagner too would do well. Love me some Wagner. What's going on, Chuck? What are you chuckling at?
Well, Jeremy's just slaughtering the your suggestion of the Silmarillion, and he's battling. Gabriella come back with. He said the Silmarillion is the most boringest book, and Gabriella said, hey, "No, a mathematics." He said, "No, a mathematics school book is." And then Jeremy replies with, "At least the little story problems in the math books have more compelling arcs."
Jeremy is a product of his time. It's too much social media, too much short video short form entertainment.
That's true.
And the Silmarillion is an epic book.
It has to be drank in, taken. Hey, Mike, how's it going, buddy? Going good?
I did go. What other questions we got floating around?
Yeah, one thing I do want to say, there's been a few people mentioned about the UK Expo. We do a distributorship now through GMS UK. I think the thing just went up there, and they were there repping us, I guess a few weeks ago when it was up there. We would love to come over to England. Don't get me wrong. Because we could all stay at Peter's place, right? Wouldn't that be the plan?
There you go. All right, what's the next question?
The next question is, and I don't know if Frank was asking about that. He might have been asking about books we publish for the world of Aired, but maybe not. I'm not sure because he was asking, specifically for Aired. So I thought maybe that might have been something he was asking too about. But
that's right, Sparky. Damn these kids.
You see, I see Chuck and Jeremy are running games at Gamehole Con. Any other trolls running games?
No, I gotta let the Gamehole Con. I will probably not be at Gamehole Con. There's a family thing that's come up. I was going to be there as a guest, but
thank you, because I couldn't remember and I was freaking out why I couldn't remember. Literally was sitting there going.
So I won't be there, and I'm like 95% certain. Well, Nick, I think is going to try to run some, or not Nick. Zach is going to try to.
Zach's running some. Yeah, Zach's up there running. Actually, Heather hasn't got her games in yet. I'm not fussing at her because these cons are insane. Like for example, I'm already having to deal with all kinds of crap with Gary Con. Oh, you know about that. But anyway, Heather's got 3 games of Amazing Adventure she's going to put in, I think, over the weekend. So watch for those guys because she's going to do Dark Pyramid play test, 2 of those, and an intro to Amazing Adventures using the new books.
So Doc Flamingo says the Silmarillion isn't written as a story as such. It reads like a history text and should be approached as such. Absolutely, and I think that's probably why it's my favorite fantasy book because I enjoy reading. I enjoy reading history so very, very much.
Right.
It's the Bible of hippies. I'm not sure any hippies have read the Silmarillion, but maybe. Who am I to judge?
Let's see. Wolf Alone asked, will we get Ingrid Andress to sing the national anthem on the opening day of the first TrollCon when it happens? Well, it's already the first TrollCon's already happened, but
almost no one's going to know what he's talking about. Wolf Alone actually saw that this morning. This young lady sang the national anthem. I'm not sure where. And I listened to it. She's getting just ripped on the internet. And I saw what she put. I don't know if this is accurate, Wolf, but she put out a note somewhere that she was drunk and she's checking herself into rehab. I'm not sure that's true or not. I don't know. I felt kind of sorry for her. I got to tell you, it's a hard song to sing, is my understanding. And she kind of breaks apart towards the end. But I know a lot of the singers they do their own take, right? They sing the national anthem and they just do a different take on it. And I wasn't offended by it. It didn't bother me. She gave it a shot, but I did see if she was drunk while she was singing it, I noticed that the comments on that post, and I don't know if if it's true, but if she was drunk, the comments were like, well, yeah, if she was drunk, it's fine. We don't care if she's drunk. It really cracked me up how forgiving Americans are if you're drunk. It just cracked me up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It is, but good Lord, she couldn't stay in one. She could not. Yeah, it's not being a singer myself, and I love music to no end. But I couldn't tell honestly, Wolf. I couldn't tell if she was doing that on purpose or if whatever. But I felt sorry for her. She's just a young lady. She doesn't need the internet dogpiling on her.
Let me give you an update.
Save that for someone like Chuck. Chuck enjoys it when the internet dog piles on him.
Yes, I do. I love it. It's fantastic. I like these rants. So I'm going to catch you up real quick on the battle with King Kothar and everybody else. The Silmarillion is a Bible for hippies. Is the Bible for hippies.
Yeah, I saw
that's
that.
his latest. Did you see that? Gabriel's giving it back to him, though. That's excellent. No, it's a glorification of a fictional. All right, next question up. This is from our Aramal. Aramal asks, where did all the missing GM tricks and trade videos go in YouTube playlists? I just started listening to them and doing from work.
And they should still be up there. Grace reorganized all of that and put them in a, what do they call them? Not a string. What is it?
A playlist.
A playlist. Yes.
That's what he's. Yeah, I'll go check and see, Aramal. That might be something weird. Probably something not checked or something dotted. Who knows?
I probably deleted it. I noticed I was listening. No, I was watching a whole bunch of Resident Evil clips the other day. And I watched about 30 of these things. Absolutely love Resident Evil. And then I noticed I was on the troll account, not the Steve account. So
that happens to me a lot too. You'll see some weird stuff pop up on it, and I'm like,
Take it later, DK. DK, see you later, man.
All right, see you, Dan. Let's see. Where were we? Let's see. Next question. This is from Vic Danger. I came in late. What is the name of that castle? I'm going to be in Austria next month. What is the name of the castle?
It's Hochhostowitz. I will find it online and we will post it. It is very cool. It is just very, very cool. You'll see how you spell that.
Jeremy comes back with, if you like the Silmarillion, read the Gods of Pagana. It's the original.
Yeah, that's by Lord Dunsany. Is that who that's by? Is that Lord Dunsany, Jeremy? I have read that.
No.
It wasn't nearly as good as it wasn't nearly as good as the Silmarillion. The Silmarillion has at least this kind of narrative flow to it, and the gods I don't remember having it. The King of Elfland's daughter.
Hot switch. What is this kind of castle? Is this what is this? What's the deal on this castle?
This is the castle that the Golden Familiar is based upon.
Really?
If you click it, the first image is up there, gives you an overview.
Yeah, it snakes up the hill. Yeah.
And it's very So if you get the second image, you can see. Man, it's much cleaner than when I was there. They've really cleaned that up. Put nice pathways in. It's very, very cool.
Can we not use that like an image in like on the store listing? Wouldn't that be badass to have that in there as one of the images? I mean, it's just a photo.
I don't know. Does the photographer own the copyright to that? That's where that. And I was there, but I certainly don't have an aerial image like that.
No, that's pretty cool. Well, that's a fair point, but it would be badass though.
Mine were taken with those little bitty cameras that you go.
I mean, I can find a photo I've taken of it on my phone.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's just
let's not steal any photographer's works.
So there was a blog post today. And Sparky's asking about it, and then now Johnny Omaha's bringing it up. Let's see. Okay. Sparky says, based on today's post, is the great troll move about to happen? I don't know what that means. I've not read the blog post, if that's what he's referring
to. the blog post today was about aliens.
And well, that's not the same then. Johnny's talking about give Steve kudos for his blog post today. He said he was going to post more, and he did. Promise made, promise kept.
There's going to be more of that. I'm trying to make myself passionate about something other than just working at Troll Lord Games. Everyone tells me I'm just working too much. So I'm kind of latched on to aliens at the moment. And I'm reading Flying Saucers from Outer Space. I thought this was kind of the book that kickstarts the alien phenomena thing. It's written in 1953. It's not. There's more before it, so I got to go find those books. Nope. Facebook, Twitter. Steve's reaction tells me no. I'll get to your question in a minute, Sparky. Yeah. So I'm just going to dive into it. I've got quite a few books I've piled up in the last few days. The Day After Roswell. Here's something very interesting.
The Day After Roswell?
Yes, this is going to be a history of the Roswell. Over there is another history of Roswell. But now this is very interesting. So this was written in 1953, right? This is called Flying Saucers from Outer Space, and it catalogs all of these encounters that people were having with flying saucers. And there's lots of them, far more than I ever imagined. I even went and checked some of the newspapers, the Indiana Star, to see, and there's write-ups in the newspapers about.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't know there was that many. But when he lists this catalog of encounters from 1947, he really starts in 1944, but in 1947 through 1953, he does not mention not once the crash at Roswell. And that rings true somewhere. I vaguely remember reading that Roswell was a blip that was completely forgotten about until the 1970s, when it was rediscovered by someone that the Air Force had made this announcement that they had an alien spacecraft in hand. So it's very interesting. It's interesting to me that this guy who's really, on top of this stuff doesn't mention Roswell at all, which led me to believe that I need to get a good historiography of this literature, because I don't even know. There's not even a good list of what to go read to kind of get informed. So I was talking to Tim Burns today, and he and I may start actually putting together a historiography of the alien phenomena. We will see. As we go to the next Art Bell after reading on. I am Trash Mon Kill. I'm going to be that dude. I'm going to get my hair, make it go crazy. I'll be on documentaries, babbling some.
Oh my God. Aliens.
Yeah. They are among us.
Oh my God.
Project Blue Book. But that came after Kothar. That came after Project Grudge and after Project Sign. And Sign was actually called Project Saucer in the very beginning. So there's this whole thing that's been going on that is not clearly kind of, cataloged for us, not clearly kind of written out. Steve is the new I'm slowly going crazy, Willie. Steve or Sparky, to answer your question, I've put a pin in the great move. We're going to bring Dakota on. He's going to work in these offices in the print shop. And then in the next 3 or 4 months, we're going to look at the great move to see where we are. I've kind of seen if land prices.
Oh, I understand now what you're talking about. Okay.
As Sparky knows, the land prices in Arkansas are fluctuating. Like, I guess the meth houses are causing the land prices to go up. I don't know what's going on in this state, but I want that to calm down. Let's see what's going to happen with interest rates in the next couple of quarters to see what's going on. Or if something should present itself, then we'll jump on it. But nothing has as of yet. That's kind of close. If we were to actually get out, meth labs are great prospective buyers. That's right. If we were to get out of Central Arkansas, get to like Cave City, which I'd love to move up to Cave City, then we could certainly find better, better property. I think we're not far from. I think so too, Sparky. It's getting a little nutty out there. I mean, someone was asking. Kat and I were looking at some land the other day and asking $14,000 an acre, which is
this episode of the.
Why? Why would anyone pay $14,000 for an acre? That's insane. Maybe it's time to sell my meth house. There you go, Vic Danger. Make sure all of your people get their city prices aren't bad. They're not, Sparky. As you know, when you get out of Central Arkansas, especially in the Ozarks, it gets much more affordable. On the other hand, it's harder to get paper. It's harder to get books. There's a whole logistics issue that we got to play into. But we'll see. Hopefully, in the next 3 to 6 months.
I have to ask a question.
Fire.
It's called Cave City.
Yes, it's a great town. And let me tell you, for those people who don't know, Cave City has the best watermelons there are, period. They are absolutely delicious. Anyone in North Arkansas or Central Arkansas knows tomatoes. Southern Arkansas, watermelons is Cave City. Cave City watermelons are absolutely delicious.
According to Sparky, it's over top of a cave.
I don't know.
I was hoping to get some sort of good history shit from you. I'll get this watermelon. So.
I just drive through Cave City.
Drive through for the watermelon. That's what you drive through.
Yeah, well, we do. We've gone up there just to get watermelon. But it's got this nice.
And I get it.
The highway kind of goes through it, and it's got this nice little downtown of about 8 old buildings, and I would say 2 of them are occupied. So we probably could rent one of those and move TLG into that.
I see.
But again, it's a logistics issue that we've got to. Yes, it's in Sparky's neck.
Oh, okay. So it's farther north then. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he's Sparky. You're a little bit west of that, right?
Right.
Steve is the Gallagher of history. Yeah, there you go. Mammoth Cave is near Cave City, Kentucky.
That's right. I've been there. I've been to Mammoth Cave.
I've been to Mammoth Cave.
Yeah. So I was just curious about it, but it's weird that you mentioned it because like this summer alone, we've bought watermelon. I bought peaches back from Florida and South Carolina, and Georgia, or from Georgia and South Carolina. I'm sorry, and something else. And none of this fruit has been worth it. Oh, strawberries. All of it's sour and it rots real fast. It's just like
that's interesting.
It ain't like it used to be when I was growing up. I don't know what's going on.
When I was a youngin', the fruit was sweeter.
I suppose. I think we're caught up on all the comments and questions, though.
Chuck, I don't think the fruit's getting worse. I just think you're souring as you get older.
No, it really is. The wife's very pissed off about it right now. She's angry about it. Anyway, while we're taking this,
Jeremy said,
no,
probably has nothing to do with your taste buds being less potent as you age.
Real quick, I just want to take a quick break and promote this right here. Please go and join the caravan.
Thank you, Spark.
That's our new menagerie. You want to tell them about the Wandering Menagerie real quick, Steve?
Oh, yes, the Wandering Menagerie. So we started this about a week and a half ago. It's up on the wiki page, and you can see the link there. And this is just a place for you to go in, and I'm going to add it to some of the writings that we're doing, but it's a place to go in and add a character that you've created or multiple characters. We don't care. And slowly build out this wandering caravan of people that you guys can take and put in your worlds, your games, your adventures, whatever. I'm going to put it into C0 so it'll first appear in print for us in Beneath the Canopy Green. But it's just kind of a place for us all as a community to get together and put interesting, weird, bizarre, or normal people together in this wandering menagerie. And just think of it as a carnival, a traveling carnival in a fantasy world. What would end up? What kind of derelicts would end up in this in this wandering menagerie? In this carnival as they go from town to town, setting up, entertaining, fixing, doing whatever people do to make a list. Yeah, and NPC databases are very cool. And this one, you don't have to sign in. You don't have to do anything. You just go in there, write up your NPC. Excellent, Sparky, good deal. Put your NPC in there. Put multiple in there. And if later you want them out, you just go in and delete it. It's all very good.
And it doesn't even have to be. It doesn't even. It's more just think about putting in some sort of cool personality you've thought up. You don't have to. We don't really looking for like stat blocks or any of that kind of stuff. We just want the people, the person.
Yeah, like I think I put one guy in there, Otto, who's just this kind of a balding middle-aged guy who wears an apron. Now, do with Otto whatever you want in your game. I mean, that's kind of what it is, to give everyone a sense of being part of this really cool hobby that we're in.
I haven't looked
and
at
then
it.
give us all a huge, absolutely huge resource of NPCs.
Oh, we
Arabelle has a question.
Good.
Are there any adventures taking place in the Morvon Plains and inside Gragu's Tower? There are not. I actually started, bizarrely enough. Let's see if I can find
Where is
that
that at? Where's
So
Maureen?
the Morvon Plains are behind the Dr. Pepper T-shirt.
Huh.
They're here, and the Tower of Gragus is right there, and that is where Trigall the Mage had that was his lair. Way back in the Woebegone days, when we were publishing the companion books, of which 2 were published. The first was Winter Runes. The second was Barracles by Shadow of Night, both of which are still in print now. Barracles under the same title, and Winter Runes under the Horn Gods. Winter? I can't remember what Winter Runes is. No, I don't know what Winter Runes became. But I was working on the third of the companion books, and I had already purchased the cover for it. Let me see if I can find it. I've never used the cover because I think I'd have to dig the contract out. I think I only bought this cover for this book, so I've never been able to use it.
I'm curious about the book. Is this an adventure we're talking about?
Yeah, so I was going to map out. So Trigall's towers, there's actually 2 towers. It's a huge tower and then a smaller tower with this bridge that goes between it. And you can't enter the large tower in any way except over the bridge. So you have to go through the smaller tower and several challenges, then across the bridge, and then you get into his main tower. And Trigall, for those who don't know, is the wizard who summoned Unklar to the world of Air.
That's right.
He's an extraordinarily powerful wizard. He's dead and gone or lost or whatever. And his tower is abandoned.
Yeah, I think Unklar basically killed him and then he left. He immediately went on out into the world. If I remember right.
in the final battle, Unklar doesn't kill him, but in the final battle,
he killed him.
In the final battle, Nulok flees as the Council of Light's fixing to get killed, and as soon as no, that's not it. As soon as Unklar is banished from the plane, Nulok teleports out of there and he's gone.
Who?
And I know where Trigall. I'm sorry. Trigall,
okay. I was really confused. So he was around the whole time.
Yeah, well, yeah, he summons. Yes, he.
I know he summoned him, but I thought I read that he basically killed him and went on about his business.
Trigall becomes a slave for about 300 years.
Yeah, I can see that.
And he serves as this kind of peasant in Unklar's court, but Unklar begins to realize this guy is really powerful, and he slowly works himself up to where he's kind of the seneschal of Unklar's court, and he rules. So Trigall rules the lands of Ursel. But
I did not
Unklar won't let him keep his power base in Ursel, so he builds the towers of Gragus, which are over there, and those are those 2 towers.
Oh, that's not the tower where he summoned him in originally. The tower.
No.
That's farther up north, right? Like in Grouse, whatever it's called.
That tower is Unklar's Iron, which is just south of the Morvon Plains. Yes.
Okay.
That is where he summoned. I don't know where that cover is. This is
now I'm all tore up. I don't remember reading that in the Codex of Air, though. I swear.
Wait, here it is. Okay, so this is a JPEG.
I'm gonna go back and read it again.
I'm gonna drop this. A tip. I'm gonna drop this in our Skype, Chuck. If you can put it up, people can see. This was the cover purchased. You'll have to change it to a JPEG and all that crazy. But that was the cover purchased for
I want to go back and find out more about this dude. I don't remember reading that in the Codex of Air. I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's in the Winter Dark Wars. And then I hit him. I know where Trigall is, and it's written nowhere down where Trigall is. I should probably write that down in case I get hit by a bus.
Yeah, but you should. There's a lot of shit you need to write down. Actually, get started.
I know where he is.
You want me to throw that up in a second?
Yeah, throw that up. I think it's a beautiful cover. We bought it long ago. I can't even remember the guy's name now. Steve Roberts. It's on the picture.
Yeah, and that's
and the two things there.
So we got a question from Savage Splendor, and I'm curious about that because we do have a nice piece of art for it, but I don't know if Steve he'll remember now that I've said something. Anyway,
what's the question?
Question is there new art for trolls, specifically in the M&T book?
So there is.
You know what I'm alluding to, don't you?
Well, I'm not sure which one you're talking about. I don't know that.
I'm talking about the Jason Wanton one on the cover.
Oh, yes, there's that. There's that. Yeah, if you look at, but there's another one that I like more that I don't think anyone's gonna like.
Is that the one for Aired? Because it's in the Aired book, I thought. Or no?
Did I put it in the Aired one as a Troll Lord? I don't have my air book with me. I may have done that. You know what I'm talking about. It kind of looks tree-ish.
I mean, I like it, but it's not what most people are going to expect.
Yeah, I know. That's yeah, no. So we will be going with the more traditional look. The one that's on the cover now will be the troll. Question: you doing an event for virtual Greyhawk Con this year? I'm not sure. I probably will. I normally do. Chuck and I got to talk about that. Many other things.
We always have to talk.
How's it going, DM John? Thanks for joining us. It's Sparky. It's probably buried in some of those codexes somewhere.
So Frank asks, and I was right about that too. He did ask a question. He slipped it in there. I saw it. Questions. Where can you find all this information you guys are talking about? See, he was asking about Aird knowledge, I think, earlier about writing.
Okay. All right. So the Codex of Aird is going to be your biggest resource for all things Aird. It's just about 260 pages, and it's packed content, about 250,000 words. Then there's the Monsters and Treasures of Aird that also. Okay, so I did use that in there. There's the Monsters and Treasures of Aird. I don't have my copy at the desk here, but it's got, I don't know, about 100 monsters. And there's a lot of lore that goes with those monsters as well. And then there's a bunch of expansion books. I think we've got 6 out right now. Gotland, KMR. And each of these expansion books takes a small section of this map and kind of zooms in on it and tells you what's in that map. I think there's 6 of them. Those are all on the website. The A series, which is now bundled in The Undying War, that's also on the website.
Yeah.
The C series, which you can get separately right now, but will be coming out in the next 3 or 4 months as a hardcover, as one collection with new maps and new art, stuff like that. You can also get on the C series. That has a lot of Aird lore in it as well. There's also 3 collections of short stories that you can go to. Chuck, put the link up for those short stories. That gives you a lot of lore on. It kind of gives you, not the lore, but it gives you kind of a feel of the world of Aird. There's a novella coming out on those fairly soon, definitely by Christmas, but probably way before that. Really? What else we got? I literally I'm about to retreat here in the next week or 2, I think, before Gen Con, 3 or 4 days. Just pull myself out of the office and retreat and finish that novella.
You will do that if you do that, because that's the most effective thing I've ever seen in my life. When you do that, you get a lot.
When I get out of this room right here, my productivity is fantastic.
Yeah.
Then there's some you'll get it in bits and pieces in the S series as well. So there's just Aird stuff.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this for you.
Thank you, GM Kenny. Thank you very much.
So the best thing you could do, honestly, let me make sure that I did my cross-linking good. If I didn't, I'm going to be pissed.
What are you doing, Chuck?
Oh, interesting. I did not. I'll have to go back and fix it. I'm just checking. I'm basically checking myself out on the store here.
Oh, there you go.
Fiction.
Don't just fix that later. Put that.
I'm not going to fix it now. I'm not going to fix it now. I was getting a link for the fiction.
Okay. Oh, right. But there's quite a bit of Aird stuff out there, and that's kind of when I'm babbling all this stuff. Now, obviously, a lot of it's up in my noodle, so I can remember it, and it's a lot to digest. The Codex of Aird alone is a lot to digest. There's also a novel called The Andanuth, which is the kind of fiction side of this in novel format that you can. I think it's on the store. If not, it needs to be on the store. It's not. Okay, we need to get that on the store. I was wondering why this.
I have a long list of stuff, man. No more Kickstarters for a little while. Let's wait.
Yeah, we got a lot of cleanup to do around here, which is good. Very, very good.
Yeah, all right, I'm making a note. I just made a note for it too.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get that.
Well, we just need to target certain things each week and make.
That's very true. That's very true. Oh wow, what a cool cover.
That'd be very cool, Art Mike. Yeah, I really like that cover. That he did the original Winter Runes, which is a fantastic piece of art. And I don't know if he still does art, to be honest with you. I'm not sure where he is in the big scheme of things. Covers.
That is a wild looking, dude. That's some like psychedelic shit, bro. That's awesome. All right, let me get my little.
Yes, Sparky, it's fixing to get absolutely nuts. I'm going to send the Amazing Adventure stuff to you soon. We got other stuff fixed, so yeah, it's going to get very, very nuts here very soon. I'm going to go ahead and put up this Winter Runes picture too. I'm going to send it to you, Chuck.
Yep.
So you can put that up as well. Those are 2 of my favorite pieces. This first one that he's putting up, the Tower Gaugus, is just so much color, so much liveliness. It's just an amazing piece of work. And we bought this in 2001, and it was never used. I need to try to get a hold of Steve Roberts. Uh, he may still be out there doing art. He may not. It was 25 years ago. So. Question: while we're doing all that, question what will be the next Gygax Kickstarter? It will be the Upper Works section. It's going to be Yigsburg, the Eastmark Folio, and the Castle, and probably the first 2 levels of the dungeon. Mike Stewart is already working on level 2 of the dungeon. I am going to be going up to Wisconsin in the next couple of weeks to get all of this material. Yeah, so that's the next one, and we aren't going to. We got to lock up a couple of these Kickstarters. The Hermit and Armory book are on our short list. We've got to lock up a couple of these Kickstarters before we do anything else, and then it's going to slow. It's going to slow back down. Obviously, our schedule got Kickstarter heavy because of all of the Gygax material, and we had to show a certain amount of movement quickly, which we did thanks to you all. Very much appreciate all of that help you guys have thrown in helping that happen, because now we get to do all of it, and you guys get to reap the whirlwind of it, which will be soon. I mean, it's going to be sooner than we think.
Sooner than most Kickstarters, since it's our stuff.
The nice thing about the next Gygax Kickstarter, we're going to walk into it written, edited. It just needs map and art, and we're going to dive into that. So, right. VTT, did I miss VTT integration plans? I had to step away. We didn't talk about that at all. Crypt Right, we're going to continue doing that. We've got the full Castles and Crusades material coming out in Foundry in the next few months. As soon as we are done with the final, touch up on the player's handbook, which we're essentially done with the final touch up. I mean, I got to put in some page numbers and do Finn wants to do a last pass reading on it to look for just little things. Then it goes to the Foundry guys, and they'll start breaking it apart or whatever they do to get it on the Foundry. So you'll see that soon. We've been talking to some of the developers to update the stuff on Fantasy Ground, so that'll be updated as well, and Roll22. So we're going to continue with the VTT push. It's still a slow wagon around here. VTT does not. It takes a large amount of energy and air from the room, and doesn't often return the amount of energy that that perhaps we would like. But we certainly anticipate in the future that changing. So we will continue to support these platforms like we have in the past. I do fantasy and sci-fi art. Do you use black and white stuff, or is it only color painted pieces? Yeah, absolutely. Send the portfolio art, Claude. Send it to productsupport@troller.com. And we'll take a look at it. We use all kinds of stuff, black and white, just all kinds of stuff. Peter Bradley, who I think may still be in the chat, we actually had a long conversation about him doing a book of just black and white sketches, because he loves doing those, and his are just kind of unmatched. So there's all kinds of stuff going on around here. Not a Savage Spinner says, not a TFG related question. You guys ever watched the 1980 movie The Final Countdown, about a modern aircraft carrier getting transported back just before the Japanese attack Pearl Harbor? I have seen that movie a long time ago. I don't remember a lot about it. There was F-15s fighting Zeros, if I recall. That's about all I can remember from the movie itself. But it's a fun movie. It was cool. Time travel, I give a wide berth. Is that the right word for time travel? I don't try to pick it apart. I don't try to kind of unravel what would happen if they did whatever. I just F-Force. There you go. I just get into this. We got an aircraft carrier in 1944, and it's the Nimitz class, and this is just cool. So I try to dive into that stuff. It was a closed time of F-14s. The F-4, was that the one we flew in Vietnam? I think that's my favorite jet. The Phantom. Is that? I think that is the prettiest jet that the U.S. has ever put on the battlefield. Yes, I absolutely love the F-4. The F-4 is just cool. The F-4 Phantom, and we deployed those in the Vietnam conflict. Vic, I just absolutely love that jet. I don't know why. It's kind of big. It's kind of bulky. I think it's not as sleek as some of the modern jets, but it's just cool. Maybe when I was a kid, it was the thing. All right, you got those pictures loaded?
Yeah, here's the first one right here. Right there you go. Look at that craziness. Now,
Yeah.
is that the CMYK version? Because that might be where that's off a little bit.
Oh, it may be. I'm
Because
not
I was
sure.
like, that's tripping, man.
Yeah,
But
but
maybe
it was
not.
bright. It was bright, bright, bright colors. I do remember that, and I
Oh,
absolutely love this because so much going on, and it has the two towers there. The smaller tower that you go up into on the right, and then the taller tower to the left, which is very, very
I'm wrong about that. That's RGB. Because I have my
cool.
template is saved in RGB, so that's RGB.
Oh, there you go. Let's see what do we got here. Phantom Forever. Yeah, there you go, Sparky. And me and I love the Harrier for a vertical takeoff. Harrier's a really cool looking jet. Blue Angels were F4s. Oh, I didn't know
cool.
that. That's very cool. If you ever wish one flying, you're missing out. I grew up on an F4 base in Germany. Those things are flying tanks with a glide factor of 1.1. I can only imagine. I've never seen one fly. I can only imagine how much noise, weight it puts into the air. It's got to be something else. Yeah, Savage. It would make a very, very cool poster. So that was going to be the original, the third of the companion books. I got notes on it, God knows where, but I never got beyond the outline phase. I believe that at that point, the Gygaxian material was beginning to kind of take over all of our energy, and that's where everything went. After that, it was kind of set to the side. Dang it, forgot about stream. How's it going, Manfred? The F4 was cool, and I got to see it in action when it was still active when I was in the Air Force. Oh, that is very cool, Ray Tails. It's one of the few fighters I could tell what it was when the engine was running without seeing it. It's sort of like, I think, the funniest thing I experienced in the Army. I picked up this duty from this guy. It was somewhere I didn't normally work. I must have done a favor. I can't remember. But I clocked in at like 4 o'clock up on the third floor of whatever building I was in, and everyone started going home. And there was about 6 motorcycles parked outside. And the first one you hear, and you hear another one. This goes on 4 or 5 times. And the last one, I was sitting at my desk, and it goes, whoa, 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 whoa. And I shit you not, the windows shook. This was in an old building in Hawaii. And I got up and looked out the window, and there's a dude on a Harley. He was just revving his Harley. And it was so different than those Suzukis and Kawasaki's. Mm-hmm. It was a completely. So I'm guessing the F4 kind of fall in the Harley Davidson of flying jets. Let's see. Did I miss anything else in the list? Did you? Okay, put up the Winter Runes one. Aramel has, when is the adventure tied to that sweet image going to be written? I don't know. Someday I would love to write that thing. Alfstrag is my next big project. Codex of Plains and Alfstrag, but I don't know. It'd be very, very cool. And I'm going to have to reach out. I wrote Steve down on my list here and reach out, because this other picture that Chuck just put up, that was published. That was the first of the companion books, Winter Runes. Yeah. And that one was rewritten into, I think it's the Hall of something. I can't remember. I think you can get that in a different form now, but it did not use that cover, because I'm relatively certain that I signed the contracts for the book that it was specifically done for, and because once that book went out of print, I couldn't use the cover. But I absolutely love this cover. It's the only cover in 25 years that we have presented that is a winterscape, which I love, and Unklar's Winter Dark and all of that stuff. We need more winter. Peter just did one for us the other day, but we do so little winter, and we need more. We need more night covers and more winter covers, especially for the Arian mythos. Those I try to write as I go. Sparky, the Codex expansions, and I'm working on the main one now. They're pretty easy for me to write. All I need is, just 30 minutes or so, and I go to the map and I write out 4 or 5 of these areas, and then do it the next day. And I think I'm about a third of the way through Maine, but I need to ratchet that up. That's the exciting thing about the next. We're kind of done. I mean, I probably have another day or two, just going back through and kind of mopping up these books and getting them to print, and then. I'm going to have a lot more time, a whole lot more time.
Yeah, we need you writing more than anything, basically, sir.
Yeah, and I spent this is the 3rd week of doing layout now that I've just been doing layout.
So you're saying the blocking out time that we talked about, it's not working for either of us so far this week?
Yeah, no. Well, we got way too many books log jammed. And
we do have a lot of books. We do. You're absolutely correct on that. That's for sure.
And it's getting unlog jammed right now. Not 2 weeks from now, not 30 days.
It's gonna be pretty nuts here in a couple of months when we have all this shit to ship. It's gonna get wild. Dakota has no clue what he's walking into.
I know. October is going to be absolutely batshit crazy.
We might have to have a moot down at the office and just summon everybody.
Yeah, It's going to be nuts. It's absolutely going to be nuts. And hopefully by then we have made the great move that Sparky has talked about. Because it makes fulfilling these Kickstarters so much easier.
I know it.
Between the Hermit and this Reforged, which should land at about the same time, we're talking 3,000 packages.
And we've already got so much stuff for next year. It's not even funny.
Oh yeah, no, it's we got busy times, which is good.
Yes, sir.
And you know, and hopefully you guys who have just joined us stick with us. Just keep gaming with us at the table. We got a lot of great stuff. You guys are making it possible, and the you know, infinite amount of thanks to you all. Stick with us. We got tons and tons of stuff, and you're all going to need more bookshelves, Sparky. Everybody is, which is good. I love me some books. Build a wall of another bookshelf. There you go. Boy, I need something fierce. I've been buying all these weird magic sorcery books and now alien books. I guess got books kind of piling up all over the place.
There's a good question for you. That's
any chance the future of a Siege Engine universal role playing system? You know, it's Chuck has mentioned that a good half dozen times of just getting something that has it all. And I pitched to the group today. There's so many things that have been created for the Siege Engine. For instance, morale rules; those are in the fields of battle. Changing monsters into characters; those are in Amazing Adventures. There's so many things out there that we need to put into one place that I kind of pitched a lexicon of the Siege
I did not
Engine.
see that. I have to go catch up on chat. I guess I've been working. So.
Yeah, well, I think Tyler and I talked about this a few years ago. I think it's something we're way overdue on. There's lots and lots of stuff, and for those people who've been running this stuff for a long time. And this is part of the brouhaha over the new spell layout. They don't need all of this. They just need how does this rule work? So I think something that's just really cut down would be nice and some kind of lexicon.
And honestly, the way we've done things over the past 7 years I've been with the company, the way we do things, I think what I would love to see eventually is have that all just up online for access to everybody. You know what I mean? And under the wiki. That would be
nice. The Siegenomicon there. That would be awesome. That's it. That's the title. Willie, we're going to put you in the front cover. The Siegenomicon. That's it. That's beautiful.
That's funny.
Good stuff. I got this F4 opened up in front of me. All right, I think we got to start winding down. I am the extensive rules of dysentery. We probably have them somewhere. Are we doing any giveaways or anything today, Chuck? Or
not today. We're back to the old schedule. Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, so thanks everybody for coming out. I sure appreciate it. I absolutely love this stream. It's a great kind of recap for me. Chuck will be around tomorrow for his world building, and then we'll be back on deck on Thursday at 4:30. Game this weekend, so stick with us all week. And lots of more stuff coming when Dakota comes on board. The Dakota and Grace will start doing a convention stream for us, so that's going to be a lot of fun too. M5 says, Chuck's going, what? I haven't heard of that. Holloman Air Force Base near White Sands National Monument, New Mexico has a runway that ends just sort of a highway. I was driving just past the F-115 stealth fighter word overhead, maybe 40 to that. It would be absolutely awesome. On 2 counts, 1, White Sands is near the Roswell crash. M5, you knew I was going to go there. And then you get to see those jets take off. So that is very, very cool. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. And we'll see you next Tuesday or tomorrow.
Yep, we're gonna raid into Table Story now. We raid them sometimes. It's just someone doing another game. Or you guys can watch a game if you want to hang out on Twitch. Anyways, thank you so much, everybody. I'll be back in the morning, and we hope you guys all have a great evening. Thank you so much.
Take it easy, y'all. Apparently, F4 is a band too. That's very interesting.
Oh, that's a popular plane. Bye, y'all.